Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play uses the 7th edition Call of Cthulhu tabletop role-playing game rules by Chaosium. This actual play is performed by adults and in an adult setting. While we try very hard to stick to language for all ages, listeners should know that this podcast may include mature themes. All content, including names, places, events, companies, and etc., that may bear resemblance to entities living or dead, is strictly coincidental. My name is Michael Diamond, and for tonight's game, I will be your keeper. Thank you for joining us again on our episode of the Old Ways podcast. I'm your keeper, Keeper Michael, and we return to Masks of Nyarlathotep in our China chapter. As we like to do at the start of a show, we'd like to thank you, the listener, and especially you, the Patreon supporter. We truly appreciate your support, and we are very thankful for your listening ears. Now, we have a lot to get to this evening, and I'd like to start with introductions to my right.
This is Tiffany, and I play Maeve O'Shea, and I'm protecting the books.
And scrolls.
Indeed.
To Miss O'Shea's right.
This is Morgan. I play Lillian Lane, and I'm probably going to shoot some guys tonight.
Shoot some more guys.
Oh, yes.
Shoot some more guys. And at the end of the table.
This is Jake. I'll be playing Jack Doyle, and we have some party crashers.
We do. And to Mr. Doyle's right.
This is Lonnie. I'm playing Robert Drummond, and I have nothing to say.
To Mr. Drummond's right.
Hi, this is Heather, and I'm playing Stasi. We have ninjas to the front and Brady to the back. So this will be an interesting sandwich and predicament to get out of.
Yes, we'll see if we can stick it out. So to Stasi's right.
This is James. I'll be playing Dr. Sigmund Tattenbach. And he questions Jack's definition of the word party.
Yeah, I think that's a fair question, Doctor. And last but most certainly not least.
This is Alex playing Saint Baron, who is in once again the company of an old friend.
Fantastic. Before we get started officially, we are going to have a luck refresh, something which I'm sure our investigators appreciate. And so if you, Miss O'Shea, could begin and start us with a luck roll.
That would be a 6 out of 79.
Oh, 79 luck, huh?
I want to
Wow.
fail. Yeah. 79 luck.
Excellent. Tonight for our luck refreshes, I'll be using my newest dice from Odd Dog Dice, Eldritch Clam. The large D10s are fantastic. And you'll be taking 12 luck.
Oh.
Miss Lane?
Got a 82 out of 39.
Oh, a failure. Alrighty. And you can take 14 points of luck.
Sweet.
Mr. Doyle, a man who's recently spent luck.
75 over 62.
Wow, you failed. How long has it been since you failed a luck roll?
It's been a long time.
All right. So take 16, sir. Mr. Drummond.
It's a success, 45 under 59.
Very good. Take 9 points of luck. Stasi.
That is a 34 under 51.
All right. So take 8 more points of luck.
Excellent.
Doctor.
All right. That is a 98 over 28. That is a profound failure. Can you fumble a luck
No,
game
you
roll?
can't fumble a refresh roll. You could fumble a standard luck roll, but that's not what this is.
Are you sure? Because I think I've raised the bar.
Doctor, I'm going to give you 23 points of luck.
I am gladly going to take those 23 points of luck, and thank you,
You're
good
welcome.
sir.
Sam, what do you got for me?
That's a failure, 71 over 54.
Very good, sir. Ooh, 18 points.
Love it.
With our luck refreshes in hand, we are going to raise the curtain tonight on a darkened portion of the old city inside Shanghai. A very concerning amount of noise came from outside just now, Jack. Two very distinctive reports from a shotgun. And then screams, moans, the sounds so used to your ears of people dying. And then the hurried footsteps of Lillian Lane as she breaches the door to Moo's house, smoking shotgun in her hand. From your vantage point, Sam, the shadows of the streets in the old city here come alive. The rooftops grow arms and legs and walk about. The alleys begin to shift and churn with motion. And you begin to see a parade of people in all manner of dress. Not simply the subtle blacks that so many are used to, but colors. Bright colors. Reds, greens, whites. And you can see what appears like a score, a dozen or more men descending on the spot.
So I had previously, thanks to the gracious hand of fate, successfully thrown a smoke bomb into the middle of the street, which I had hopefully tried to use as both cover for the escaping Lillian and to get myself into my nesting area above the door at the peak of the roof. And I was going to try to get super low and super quiet so that I could watch these people approach. Because I know that once I fire, my position is going to be given away. So I want to try to identify a couple of things. One, how are they armed if they're openly carrying weapons? And two, how are they organized, or are they at all?
Okay, so the previous smoke, we'll say, has stretched probably a good 2 meters around this entranceway. It's definitely given Miss Lane cover, and she's utilized it. So utilizing that cover, she has made it inside. At least you're fairly certain by now. The one thing you know about Lillian for certain is that she's quick and she wants to be. As far as their movements, as far as their organization, it feels like a tidal wave. So they're not the men or the creatures, the beings, whoever they are, because again, it's dark, and that's the important part, right? You see shapes, silhouettes, not defined faces. But you don't see, at this point, anything that stretches the imagination of the human form, right?
Mm-hmm.
At least at this point.
Right.
They appear to be armed with bladed weapons. The glints from the moonlight and from the lanterns that are here, at least some of them that are still lit in the area. You don't see any long arms. You don't see any rifles. You see very similar weaponry to what you saw at the Stumbling Tiger, which is a lot of heavy bladed weapons that are hooked.
The one that Lillian shot through a knife at her, right?
Oh, yeah.
So they seem pretty capable. So I will do my best to remain hidden while the initial push happens. And what I'm going to do is look for the first one who... I want to see how they plan on getting entrance, like how they plan on trying to get access to the house with all the doors closed. And when we saw this place, there were no open other entrances from the front. So they're going to have to take the door.
Yeah, you're fairly certain of that. There are, again, with the makeup of this street, there are houses next to it, and they are fairly smashed together. You know that. There's very little room to move between the houses. That does not mean that there is no room. It just means that there's very little.
Okay. So far, I haven't seen any windows.
Not so much, no.
Okay.
Not on this side. Now, it's possible that on the far side of the house there are windows, but you wouldn't be aware of them at this point.
Right. Yeah, then I'm going to keep an eye on the group to see how they plan on trying to get access to the house. And if I see an obvious effort that I feel might succeed, that will become my target. But in the meantime, I will remain silent.
So we'll start with the regular initiative rounds at this point. Sam, are you planning on shooting or waiting? Because it sounded like you were going to wait.
I'm going to wait. I'm hiding is what I'm doing.
Okay, fair enough. So your action will take place a little later. Miss Lane, you enter the home and you see you see a group of investigators, your friends.
Lilia, what's going on?
There were some gentlemen out front that didn't just want to talk.
I told you those weren't fireworks, Jack.
Jack Brady looks at you, Jack, and says, "We need to get Moo out of here."
Yeah, you think Moo's going to leave his house?
He steps just like a step left, and he says, "Moo, you're leaving now." And you see like an immense amount of patience sort of cascade over this wizened person, and he shakes his head. "I am not leaving, Brady. I'm staying right here." You can hear Miss O'Shea like in the background around the house that like footsteps are coming and people are beginning to move through the space.
I told you, I know these people.
You're not the only one that knows these people. I've been at this a little longer than you.
Yeah, well, I've been running with enough of them.
And Brady takes out 2 45s from like inside of his vest.
Nice.
He looks at Drummond and says, "Pick a door or pick a window.
What the fuck is your problem?
We're about to get bowled over."
Everybody get in position. Lillian, reload. You might want to reload your shotgun. Hey, Maeve, we could use a swarm of your little slithery friends.
Okay.
Brady moves to take a position by the front door. He flattens himself against the wall and he keeps his pistols low. Doctor, you do find some wine. It's actually on the table behind you.
He pours some into a glass but does not lift or touch the glass. He's watching the surface of the wine.
Mm-hmm.
How much vibration is there? Quite a bit.
There's a fair amount, but...
Okay. I mean, there's people moving in here, but I'm more thinking that if there's a lot of feet going on outside, there's going to be quite a bit of... And then he drinks it.
Okay.
We definitely have company, Jack. We need to be going.
We're not going to be able to get out of here.
At least fortifying.
We could use some light out there, Doctor.
Yeah, I'm going to start casting.
Light? All right, I will see what I can do. One moment.
I'm going to go ahead and start casting.
Okay, what are you casting?
The call yig, so to summon the snakes.
Okay, you're going to attempt to summon a batch of serpents.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be fun. All right, which, I guess, expend the sanity and the magic points necessary.
It's 3, Sam. I got lucky.
Indeed. All right, so tell me, I guess, how you're going through this casting process. Give us a bit of narrative. What does Miss O'Shea do when she casts this spell?
I'm probably going to start singing in Aklo at the loudest volume because I need to get through windows and walls. I'll probably be closer to the door so I have more space to summon them to me. So I'll just be standing in the doorway with my arms wide, calling, singing as loud as I can.
Okay. That'll be very interesting for some of us to see. So for a couple of our investigators who have not yet experienced, we'll just say, live magics. Stasi, the sound that you hear from the other room, which is not terribly far from where you're at, is an interesting one. So the tones that you begin to hear, the song you begin to hear in the other room is not some regular old jazz number. This is something that gets into the back part of your ear and sort of harmonizes around your skull. It's a little uncomfortable. It's not painful, but it is definitely not something that you are used to hearing. It's like hearing 2 or 3 people who can do a natural vibrato with their voice and hearing them harmonize together. You get a really weird echo inside this room.
Yeah, like I always imagine that it's like when you go to like a concert and you can feel the music in your chest,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like unsettling, but not painful or
Yeah.
uncomfortable. It's just a little like,
Miss O'Shea, why don't you make me a Constitution roll, by the way?
come on.
Oh, just wondering.
That is a 68 out of 50.
Okay. You feel your back heat up, like a somewhat natural yet unnatural bloom of heat goes from the middle of your back up over and crawls over your shoulders.
Right. In a specific pattern.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
We're a bit held as far as initiative, so I'll give you, Stasi, and then Drummond some actions as we were about to swing in.
So as the Jacks verbally spar between the two of them, and the casual thought flashes through my eyes of whenever they're done the pissing contest, I will be looking around the room for, let's just say some fun, sharp objects. Anything with a pointy end that can go in the other guy?
Yeah, there's a big spear on the wall.
Oh, perfect. I think I will relieve the wall of its decor and properly utilize that. In fact, I will probably... How thick is the shaft on that spear?
I'd say it's thick enough.
Solid, but would it be breakable?
Certainly breakable.
Okay.
Yeah, if you needed to.
So I will actually take it like a naughty child and snap it over my knee so that I can have one in each hand. I will use the blade portion to whittle down the stake version, so I now have 2 pointy ends to go into the other guy. One for each hand while they are taken care, and make sure that my clothing, which I'm sure at the time is due to the style rather billowy, I will then remove any billowiness. So I will cut away billowy arm from the blouse, and then also make sure that using the blade tear a bit of each of the, I'm sure, rather baggy bottoms, the stylish of that, and then tie them tighter so that I do not have anything that can be caught on anything else.
Okay. So you appropriate some weapons and begin doing a wardrobe correction. Yes?
My brass knuckles prepared nearby.
Yeah, probably a little. It's not something you could mix with the current weaponry, so
No.
we'll keep them available, certainly.
I'll probably pause just long enough with the song to stop, look the direction of where the melody is coming from. Think I have to talk to her about that afterwards, and continue my preparations as we hear the footsteps.
Yeah. So just so we're clear, all the rooms here have these beautiful curtains between them. So there's no actual way to see into and out of the rooms unless you completely open them. And right now, all the curtains are shut. So they're floor to ceiling length. You can definitely hear that there's somebody singing in that room. And the voice does not sound like Maeve's, but you're pretty sure that it's not that old stuffy dude that's singing.
Probably not.
All right, Mr. Drummond.
Well, I don't have a gun right now because I helpfully got dispossessed of it by Mr. Brady. I'm going to start trying to barricade the windows.
Okay.
Nearby furniture.
Yeah, easily done. Would you follow where Brady's at, or would you go deeper into the residence?
Actually, I am going to go in where Brady is. And I'm going to start moving that, what looks like a dresser.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say this would go a lot better if I had a gun, moron.
He chuckles. You going to be a good boy?
Never said I was a bad one. Jesus Christ. What's wrong with you?
Oh, buddy, there's a whole lot. He tosses you back your gun.
I still barricade the door.
You get some barricading done here and then basically end in position here. And so now there's a large piece of furniture that stands between them and making it through the door. Mr. Doyle?
Yeah, I'm going to take up a window spot.
Okay. That's not hard.
Yeah.
As your window spot's basically about a foot or two away from you. You stand a post.
Hey, Brady,
Yeah.
don't die. We put a lot of work into finding you.
Don't die. That's Rich. You hear the slide pull back on one of his guns. Right. So I suppose then, in case he would like to, I'm going to move for them. And then, Sam, if you want to get in between some of that stuff, that's fine.
Understood.
That'll be your action should you so choose. So the first couple of people who make their way out of this little section are clothed very much like you would think of in a traditional stealth type of clothing. They are armed with, from what you can see, Sam, they're not armed with the heavier blades that you saw the first gentleman armed with. They are armed with shorter blades, much thinner blades, and thus you figure much lighter. And when they move in between these spaces, they're going to be moving very fast. They're going to be moving towards this big billowy smoke bomb that's been set off.
So they're moving toward the door then.
Yes.
Now, just so obviously the map is not necessarily indicative, I'm above the door. So that's my position is above the front door that they went into.
Yeah, so when they approach through the smoke, you're actually going to get an opportunity to shoot before they can actually get to the house.
Right. So my plan is to they're crossing in front of me then, right?
They would be, yes.
So what I'm going to do is quietly withdraw one of the two vacuum tubes of hydrogen, of pressurized hydrogen that is now in this tube. And I'm going to roll it off the top of the roof from where I am, dropping it basically in front of them. And when it bounces, I'm going to shoot it.
All right, little improvised explosives never hurt anybody except your enemies. So they make for the door. I would like I'm going to say it's a hard dexterity roll. Actually, what's your throw?
My throw is awful. My throw is 20. We went over this last time when I failed horribly. That's why I'm not throwing it. I'm just
You're rolling
it off. I'm rolling. Well, I also don't want to whip it. Like I want it to just kind of land in front of me.
Sure. No, I get it. Okay, so I'm going to give you a hard dexterity roll to get it in the spot that you want where it could be affected should you successfully shoot it.
That would be a 20 under 75. That is a hard success.
All right, you have done step one. So it lands about here, okay? So just before the base of the tree is where it lands as they're beginning to move closer.
I say to Forsyth in my head, watch this. And I fire. That is a 6 under 74. That's an extreme success.
Okay, so you definitely hit it, and it definitely detonates. It's an extreme weapon roll, but that since you're not hitting a person, you're not impaling anybody. That said, though, I'm going to give... this is what I'm going to do for it, because it's a bomb. I'm going to give it a lethality rating of 15.
Okay.
And so what I'm going to have you do is roll 1d100.
Do I want to roll low? Is that the plan here?
You want to run under the lethality rating if you can.
It's a 31.
Okay, so it doesn't kill them outright without rolling damage. But because it has a lethality rating of 15, I'm going to have you roll 5d6.
Okay. I would love to roll 5d6. That'll be 17.
So these axe gang or ne'er-do-wells might be a better terminology for them. They begin to rush the house. You see the first two. Those of you, actually, Mr. Drummond's probably going to see them. And if Miss Lane or Jack are looking out peeking out any of those windows, what you see is something fall in front of them. And then there's a boom. And you're not sure what happens to them. One guy's body goes flying. So we will kindly erase them off the map. All right. So that is your action, your held action, I should say, Sam.
I'll just, lever the rifle and smirk at these chumps.
Certainly. So I would like Mr. Drummond to make me a listen roll.
My listen roll is a success, 32 under 60.
You hear something coming from deeper in the house, back behind you.
Like where the trapdoor was that we came out?
No, not where the trapdoor is. but you definitely hear something happening in there.
I'll say check the back, and I'll race toward the back.
Okay, so your options while you are here is to go. The only door you see is the one directly behind you. So you've already acted this round, but we'll allow you to act on your action next round. What you think you hear is wood splintering.
But in the other room.
Yes, but in the other room, which is the concern.
Get ready to dive through a curtain.
All right. Miss Lane, you begin to see this courtyard, as you're peeking out, begin to just fill with people. 3-4 of these similarly hooked, weaponed, axe-wielding men begin rushing through the courtyard. And they're headed towards basically any open doorway they can find.
So the thing I'm standing in front of, is that a window or a doorway?
Technically speaking, it's a doorway.
But we can make it a...
Well,
oh, no.
Yeah.
So it is a doorway. Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. I mean, if it was a window, you could make it a doorway with the shotgun.
That's true. That's what I was going to do. If So then I am going to shoot the guy closest to me on the upper left-hand corner there.
All right. So as this gentleman's beginning to make it across one of these open rock pond areas, and I use the term gentleman very loosely here, you're going to bring little lady up and take a shot.
I am at a 54 out of 65.
That's a hit. Roll damage.
I got a 6.
Okay. You fire that shot. He takes a shotgun round and keeps moving. You have wounded one of them. That much is clear. Also, Jack, you have your tinnitus is back.
Tinnitus.
So, Stasi, you see Miss Lane finish reloading that shotgun, and she sticks it out the window. So that long black barrel comes out the window, and she fires at somebody in the courtyard. A little different pace than Chicago, perhaps.
This is going to get dirty really fast. I look over at Doyle, Brady or Maeve.
Brady.
Done. And I head through the doorway to protect the ass that is Brady.
All right. You will have an opportunity to do that on 65 at the moment, though. Mr. Drummond's going to go on 80. So are you going to continue to investigate this space, Mr. Drummond?
Absolutely.
All right. What are you pushing the curtain aside, or you...
Actually, I'm going to rip it down as I go through.
You rip the curtain down. When you rip the curtain down, you expose two axe-wielding men that are in that space that come through one of these, a wooden window case back here.
I shoot one.
Fair enough.
This will go well.
You are at point blank range, sir, so you get a bonus die.
All right.
You walk into a small, it looks like a latrine, maybe?
First shot? It's advantage, right?
It is.
I'm going to spend 10 luck. And we're going to make that a hit.
Okay. Spend 10 luck. Go ahead and roll damage.
1.
Okay. You do a point of damage.
Let's do that again.
That's a bad luck to damage exchange. Just putting that out there.
That's a failure and a failure.
Okay. So you go back out there and you start firing in the back room.
Yep.
Since there's a curtain between where you and Brady are right now, Jack, you can't see what Drummond's doing, but you're hearing more gunfire in the house. Stasi, you'll move to protect Brady on 65.
Yes.
So you move into this space. Where are you planning on standing? Like, he is hugged up against the wall.
Yeah.
And there's a door to his immediate left, or doorway.
Listen check?
Sure. And at this point now, since you've come through the curtain, you can clearly see that Mr. Drummond is firing into the back room. He's ripped a curtain down. You can see that there are people, axe-wielding people, in the back room there.
Well, at least we have a clear line of sight. Thank you, Drummond. Okay, listen check. That is a 32 under 50.
Okay.
So regular success.
Yeah, you take a moment and take a listen. There are obviously men in front of you. You can hear the soft padding of feet coming closer to the doorway here.
Okay.
In the courtyard. There are multiple people coming through that courtyard.
Right.
And are likely coming through this doorway in moments.
Okay, so I will put myself between Brady and the doorway. Basically, I am not going shield in front of him. I am prepping myself to fight either alongside of him or them to hit me first on their way, so that he has a gun in his hand. So I am not putting myself in the direct line of fire. It will be off to the side. I need to be there to make sure he doesn't die. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. All right, Miss O'Shea, you begin to feel the earth beneath your feet tremble. You can feel them coming through the sewers, through the waterways here. You can feel your family coming. And there is an immediacy, a great urgency to them to get to you.
So I'm done casting. They're just traveling then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Then I will pull my knife and back up to have my back at the table. Basically so that Moo is behind me.
Okay. You can see Moo is beginning to collect some things. He's also gone into his desk and he's taken out something about half a meter long. It looks like an ancient gun. It actually reminds you of a really old version of what the doctor carries as a flare gun. It has a big mouth on the end of it.
Well, it's good to know he's got weapons too.
He definitely has something, that's for sure. All right, Jack on 60.
All right, I'm going to take 3 shots.
Okay.
1 at the guy in front and 2 at the guy right behind him.
Sounds good.
That would be 7 on the first shot.
Okay, roll damage.
10.
Okay. Yeah, you stick just real quick, get a quick look out that window and put a bullet in that guy and he drops into the water, dead.
43 on the second shot.
Okay. Damage.
9. And then 1 more shot into him. 29.
Damage.
7.
All right, he drops 2. So far, so good. Well, for most of you. Doctor on 55.
Doc steps up next to Jack so that he has space to get an arm out the window there and fishes Betty out of his doctor's bag. And this time, Betty's actually going to be used properly. He puts his arm out the window and shoots her into the air so he can illuminate the neighborhood and we can see what's coming.
Very interesting. Go ahead and make a firearms roll for me.
Fucking hell. So it's 96 over 27. I'm going to... I think I'm going to push that roll, actually.
Are you serious? Well, first of all, it's a 96 over... It's a roll of 90. It's a fumble, yeah. So you fumble that.
So I can't push it,
Yeah,
can
you
I?
can't push a fumble. You fumble
Right.
that flare gun roll with another character in front of you.
It's going to shoot us in the face.
Yeah, the magnesium flare is going to go off in the house.
Yeah.
What I'll do, because I am both benevolent and a decent human being, don't laugh.
You should have just let it.
You guys need to
Just
quit
said
burning
benevolent.
shit down.
Hey, don't look at me.
James, I'm going to play Hand of Fate against the doctor.
Oh, fantastic.
And I am going to introduce a little chaos into your evening.
Wonderful.
The flare gun goes off, and the flare goes nowhere. It goes off inside the gun. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to roll 1d100 for me, and I'd like you to pray, not that you're a praying man, but I'd like you to pray that it doesn't come up below 5. Because flare guns can be lethal too.
Oh,
Wow.
No, but it came up a 10.
Okay, so I'm going to roll a d6
Oh,
for
fuck.
your compatriots nearby. Jack, take 3 damage. Miss Lane, take 5 damage. The both of you are on fire now. And Doctor, take 8.
Oh, poop.
There is an enormous explosion in that room, and your vision is filled with flames, Doctor. And as is yours, Jack, and as is yours, Lillian. There is a roar in your ears, and pain, and the smell of burned flesh, and just an awfulness that takes over. You're propelled to the ground, all of you. So you all go prone. And it's at this point that I am going to move a few other pieces. So for your edification, Sam, you see two more men who are moving towards the front door.
So I'm basically acting when they do now, right? Because that's kind of like the lineup.
You took and the reason I'm telling you is because you go before they do, so you would see what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm. All right. So there's two more in the courtyard that are heading for the door.
Yes.
So with the two that went down, looking down from the spot and with the rifle, have they noticed me yet?
It does not appear so now.
Good.
I mean, a bomb went off. They're already coming through a field of smoke.
No, this works out really well. So the one that just emerged, I would like to assist that one on their way to the end of their lives with a forged rifle. It's extreme success is what this is.
Ooh. Okay, so that is an extreme success on your rifle roll. So go ahead and roll damage and then add it to your base damage.
2d6 plus 4 is what this thing is.
Okay, so 16 plus roll damage.
16 plus 7 is 23, plus 4 is 27.
Yeah, one less dude on the map, that's for certain. The report of a rifle after this boom, and the boom inside the house, Miss O'Shea, you absolutely heard, and so did you, Stasi.
Yes.
In fact, you probably felt the heat behind you. There's another report on top of it. You can hear, Jack, you can hear almost, even through the flames, you can hear these surgical rifle shots happening.
With the second extreme success, I will fist bump Forsyth's initials on the stock of the rifle.
Very good. So one of these guys is going to get into the house, or so he thinks. Stasi, you see a dark-colored clothing first, an arm. In that arm, there is a long, curved weapon with a hook at the end of it, perfect for cutting fish. And as this man steps into the room, he gets the barrel of a 45 against his head. And Jack Brady doesn't think twice about pulling the trigger in front of everybody. And now I'll go ahead.
I'm going to need another shower.
Yeah, he drops this man. He falls to the floor. Mr. Drummond, you, however, have a few other issues to deal with. So the man you shot at, him and his compatriot come at you with bladed weapons.
Oh, okay, so I only have two problems, really.
Well, yeah. For now. That is an 83, so that's a miss. And that will hit. Would you care to dodge? Because you cannot parry.
I cannot parry, and I cannot fight back. Okay,
No.
so I will dodge. And I will not dodge, because that's a 72 over 40.
It is. So yeah, take 5 damage, Mr. Drummond. And as you get hacked at in the gut by one of these weapons, you dodge the first one, but are not able to dodge the second.
Well, that's what I get for missing 3 shots.
That's right. I mean, honestly, yeah, it kind of is. And so, Stasi, you're going to get swiped at. You can dodge or fight back, your choice, because you have a spear in hand.
That is a 36 under 80. So actually that is it's under 40. So yeah, so it's on mid success.
It's a hard success.
Hard success.
He has rolled a
That is
5.
hard.
You are attempting to dodge and then getting cut for 4 damage. So you get sliced at, and you try to fend off the worst of it, but he does get to you. Top of the round. That will be Lillian, given your dexterity.
Yeah, am I still on fire? I'm on the ground, aren't I? Or
Yeah, you're on the ground.
I pat
so you're
myself
prone.
off.
Yeah.
You know, I stop, drop, and roll.
You stop, drop, and roll.
Yep.
You probably freak out a little bit.
Yeah,
you smell burned hair. And then you see the doctor rolling around on the floor in pain.
Is he on fire too?
He is. Go ahead and give me a spot hidden roll, though.
Sure. I got a 64 out of 88.
You see the skin on the doctor's neck and partly up one side of his face bubbling.
I'm going to do a first aid roll on him then. Well, is his bag nearby?
With the spot hidden roll, you'd be able to see that on the far side of the room is that black leather bag the doctor has.
Okay, I'm going to grab it. My movement is 8.
Got more than enough movement to get over there and get back.
Okay. So I go and grab it, and I rummage through his bag to grab out any bandages and salve to dress his wounds. Doctor, just hold still. I'm going to take care of you.
What's your first aid?
My first aid is 65.
Okay. All right, you're going to need a hard success.
Okay.
To deal with the doctor and his condition because he's writhing in pain and the skin on his body is bubbling off.
I kind of shudder a little.
Ever seen somebody hit with magnesium?
No, I've not.
Yep, these are 3rd-degree burns, baby.
Yeah, it's unpleasant.
I got a 76 out of 65. What's going to be the hard success to...
Well, 65, it would be 32. You could always push the roll.
Yes, let's push.
So it's important that I point out as your keeper that a failed push roll is bad.
I understand. And I can't spend luck on a failed push roll,
No,
right?
you can't. But how much does the doctor mean to you, Miss Lane?
Listen, he means a lot. He
Does
is
he?
a dear friend.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna play a hand of fate in your favor and give you advantage on the roll.
Sweet. Thank you, patron. I got a 1.
You got a 1?
I got a 1.
You got a 1. Oh, that is a critical success. It is a natural 1, which is fantastic. So, Doctor, I'm going to downgrade you from a D6 of appearance loss to a D4.
Yay.
Okay, very good. Lose 4 appearance.
Just remember, chicks dig scars.
That's Lillian's action, is to get him first aid. So, Doctor, she's not going to actually heal you any hit points worth of damage. She is simply going to keep you from... she's going to prevent you basically from losing any more hit points and losing any more ability.
I do try to scoot him over to by the wall on the left-hand side there.
You already moved. You already went to the doctor bag and you're attending your patient.
Fine.
You're doing it right there on that burned wooden floor.
Wait. Okay, so Doc reaches up and gently pats the side of Lillian's face in appreciation. But it probably should be noted that some of him most likely sticks to her face.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
In real life.
Miss Lane, you do suddenly come to the realization as you're trying to keep Sigmund together that a percentage of this room is now on fire. Anyway, so Mr. Drummond on 80, you have 2 problems, sir, in life, and they're right in front of you.
Well, I'm going to back up a bit in a hurry. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to fire 3 more rounds and see if I can do something with the gun before I run out of bullets.
Okay, so you are at disadvantage for firing multiple rounds.
Right. I guess I could fire just 1 shot, I guess. I could fire 1 shot. Yeah, let's just fire 1 shot.
You're at point blank, so you'll get an advantage at point blank.
Nope. That's just not getting it done today.
So you fire. Very good. Jack Brady is going to move around you, Stasi. As he does, he is going to put a bullet in this man, and it looks like he's trying to make his way over towards where Drummond is. Good enough. So you have a new friend who comes towards you. He's a dead man. Wouldn't be the first time.
No.
But he collapses on the floor here. And Drummond, you feel somebody come up behind you, and when they do, you see another arm sort of come around the right-hand side of your vision, and there's a pistol in it, and it fires in front of you. And you hear, in your ear, you hear, "Can't you clean up your own messes?" Oh, yeah. Yeah, he drops the dude that you had previously shot.
Yeah, I don't get to get them one at a time. I'm on hard mode.
Jack, you hear from the other room, just in the daze of your coming back to from the fire, you hear Brady's voice overhead. We got to get out of here. It is now Stasi's action.
Well, that doorway seems pretty crowded right now.
It does.
Brady seems to be holding his own. So I'm going to check the door that our visitors were originally coming in from very carefully. Do a quick scan, see if we have more visitors coming through.
Yeah, that's something that you and Sam will both notice. There are a couple more that are making their way into the courtyard, and it looks like they're coming in from multiple angles. Sam, specifically this one up north where Moo is beginning to get distressed by more of these sort of axe or melee weapon wielding men.
I noticed none of them have guns. They all have bladed weapons.
That
Correct.
does seem to be a trend, yes.
Okay. I will call out troop movements at this point.
Okay.
To the others within earshot. And I will try to see which corners, particularly how these rats are getting into the house or into the courtyard, as the case may be.
It looks like they're coming, or they have been coming from both the north and the south end of the street here. And they're just sort of making the courtyard and folding their way in.
Okay.
And there are, to be clear, there are 5 bodies that litter that courtyard right now. And what you can tell, and probably one of the most distressing things is the new people coming in the courtyard are not paying that any mind at all.
Yeah.
They are just moving in.
We have more coming in.
Miss O'Shea, I would like you to make me a power roll.
Pow! Well, that's a 51 out of 83.
You feel your brethren arrive through a most curious way. You feel them slide up the water channels, the gutters that are here nearby, and you feel them rain down over the house. They climb up the house, and then, Stasi, you're sort of one of the first to witness, as these men are moving closer towards the house, a line of snakes in all manner of size and shape begin descending off the shingles of this residence.
It begins raining snakes.
Oh yeah, like on purpose, not randomly. There's probably 2 score of snakes that come off this house, and when they drop on the floor, onto the courtyard itself, they make specific movements to go inside the house. Moo stands up and sort of backs away from the desk as he's collected his things, and you see him shoulder this archaic weapon with a strap, and he says, I have no interest in leaving, but if I must, I am ready.
Well, right now, I've got defense coming. As the snakes are coming in, I'm going to have them kind of pile up at the doors, at both the doors into this room, so that they can, attack whoever's coming in as much as I can. So until we hear from anyone else, I think that we should stay put.
Very well. He eyes the snakes with some curiosity. Mr. Doyle, it has been one hell of a round.
You can say that again.
Your clothing is rather burnt, although it's a fashionable burnt, I suppose. Obviously, your back and your neck is all sorts of sore, but you're able to get to your feet.
How bad is the fire in here?
It's bad. It'll likely consume the house after long, just because there is no time to sit and stop it.
All right. I'm going to fire directly out the door then.
Okay.
3 shots. 83 under for 84.
Okay. So which one are you firing at then?
The first one right there.
This one that's
right
trying
at
to
the
get
edge of the...
okay.
And he'll take 8.
Okay. He takes a bullet.
Hit him again.
Okay.
29 under 84.
That's a hit.
He'll take 4.
All right. He drops.
And then the run right behind him. 12.
It's an extreme.
So that's 9 plus 10.
Yep. Okay. He's done. going to have to reload soon.
Yeah.
Alrighty. With Jack's action in the bag, I'm going to give Sam his action, and then we'll go to you, Sigmund.
So this one on the, there's one outside. Is that outside the courtyard or inside the courtyard?
Yeah, he's just beginning to make his way in. You can see him sort of melding his way around the corner. Yes, Tiffany.
Quick question. Is he far enough up on the roof that he's not getting covered?
Sam's not affected, but unfortunately, given his line of sight, he sees what is happening. He sees that side of the house suddenly become not consumed, but you see these roof shingles run like water with snakes.
I'm still not really a big fan of being around all these snakes. I don't know if they're going to behave themselves. So I think this is a great opportunity for me to drop the rifle into its strap there, just kind of let it hang. And as this sneaky fellow decides to round the area, I will reach to my left and right, pull forth both machete and knife, and descend upon him like a praying mantis.
You descend upon him. I think that is a fantastic sort of pulpy action hero-y move there. So,
is he aware of my presence?
I don't believe so. No, that would be silly. So that's a bonus die. He's surprised.
I'm going to attack with both weapons. Can I just use the advantage to ignore the disadvantage and just get like straight rolls? Is that how that works?
Yeah, that sounds fine to me.
All right. So we'll go machete first. Oh, machete. Oh, machete. All right, well, let's get the knife in too, just to make sure. But that's a 78 under 78, so I will go ahead and take both of those.
All right, so the first one is an extreme, 5 under 78.
Yeah, 5 under 78 on the machete.
The machete is full damage plus roll damage.
That does real damage. Hope these guys have armor so I can not worry about it. So 2 plus 8, so 10 from that. And then the knife would be another 2.
Okay. So you come down with the machete, and as you slam down onto his body with the machete, you take his right arm completely off. Comes off at the shoulder.
And when I come down with the machete, the knife's going up and do his whatever is doubling over.
Yeah. So as doesn't really even have the moment to react to him losing a limb. As he teeters there for a moment, the knife comes up beneath the solar plexus and relieves him of the rest of his life.
I will look over his shoulder at his friend.
His friend turns and runs.
Now they run.
Doctor, give me a sense of your first few moments as you teeter back into existence.
Searing agony and humiliation, but mostly pain. A vague sense of betrayal from Betty. And he is going to attempt to stumble out of the now burning room.
Yeah.
And instinctually, he's going to head for that water that's right outside.
Jack, you see the doctor still scarred, still puffy, red-faced. You see him collapse just onto his knees. And I don't want to steal narrative, James, but I feel like the doctor would just force his head into the water.
Yep. Head, arm, like his whole upper torso. He was pretty much just going to roll into it. Just lays there, breathing out of one side of his face that's not underwater.
Mr. Drummond, I'm going to give you an action through the hand of fate.
Okay. I'm going to back up to put some distance between me and the doorway.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to fire a round through the doorway because, I might hit one, finally.
You might. How far are you backing up?
About 5 feet.
Okay, and your dex is 80?
80.
Okay, so you're still going to pick up your advantage die.
Maybe I can use it once. That'd be awesome. Nope.
Okay, you fire through the curtain again.
Yep.
Jack steps in front of the curtain, and you see multiple rounds come out of the gun, and you hear a body fall. And as he sort of turns back towards you, he nods and says, "We got to get the hell out of here." He holsters his pistol.
Oh, really? I was just starting to enjoy myself. And she just kind of gives him this incredulous look.
He walks over towards you where the two of you have barricaded. You guys sort of barricaded that door just a little bit. Well, actually, Drummond barricaded the door. So he walks over to where Drummond barricaded the door, and he opens that chest. And inside the chest, you see him pull out a Thompson. And he hefts it with such ease, it's a little scary.
Yeah, I got that vibe from you.
Make for the hole. It's the best way out of here. It's the quickest way out of here.
We got to get the others.
Go. So, Sam, in the courtyard, you see Jack Brady look out the window, like across the courtyard, and then you see him duck back inside.
Escapees are kind of a big no-no, so I'm going to chase that one.
Okay.
So when he breaks, I will boot his dead friend off of my knife and say, "Not today." And I'm going to run across the courtyard after the one that fled.
Maeve, get Moo and get out of here.
Okay.
And go through the trapdoor. I go out, get the doctor.
I look at Moo, trapdoor, because I never saw anybody come in or out of the door.
Trapdoor. He sort of rolls his eyes. There's a passageway in the other room on the floor under the carpet.
Okay, well, you come with us. We, as I gesture around, will be behind.
He gives the snakes on the floor a real wide berth.
They're not gonna hurt you.
Sure, says the snake charmer. He exits the room with the satchel of books and a few other items, and then this, again, sort of strange, archaic.
Did he roll up the scroll, too, that was out on the table?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm going to look back at Drummond from where we're at and just say, "Nice fella. I'm either going to love him or I'm going to kill him. Can we get out of here now?"
So, cinematically, Sam, chasing this gentleman down in the street does not take you terribly long. You are faster than he is. The question I have for you is, how would Sam want to sort of exact this plan?
Sam is not torturous at this point. And we've dispatched all the ones inside. Now, generally, cultists aren't known to talk, but as it seems, the ones here are a bit more chatty. And I know that Jack's going to have something he wants to say to this one. So I will, as he's running away from me, if he's just kind of making a beeline, I will calmly drop to a knee, raise the rifle, and I'm going to aim anywhere from ankle to asshole. And I'm going to take something there to stop his forward movement.
Okay. So traditionally speaking, rifles, really any gun doesn't do any sort of non-lethal damage.
I understand. I'm going for a non-lethal shot is what I'm saying. So
no, I get that. All I'm saying is that you roll another extreme,
he might just die.
He might just die. Okay.
So I'm just going to, I guess I'll just take the shot and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
That looks like a regular old success.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to hurt a lot.
It's 2d6 plus 4.
Yeah, it is. Let's do it. It's only 2 plus 4. So 6. Can I get a knee?
Sure. You drop him.
Right.
He takes a knee because you tell him to. And you're able to collect him. Is the intention here to bind and collect him?
Yes. As soon as I arrive, I will muffle his screaming with a rifle butt to the nose.
Sure, you knock him out.
And then I will shoulder him and run back toward the house and try to catch up with the group.
Okay, Jack, you go out and collect Sigmund.
Yes.
Sigmund has had a successful first aid done to him, but obviously he is in a ton of pain and he is a little out of it. So for your part, James, obviously the doctor can probably feel his flesh continuing to cook, just because that's the way magnesium is.
Yep.
It's not going to do any additional damage because of the work of Miss Lane, which is wonderful.
Yep, but it is still it's still going to bubble and sizzle, and some of it's going to still slough off, and it'll be a horror show. Yeah,
basically. So the group, including Brady and including Moo, make for the exit. to parts unknown. And that is where we'll call this episode of Masks of Nyarlathotep. We thank you so much for your listening ears. We will await your presence at our next episode next week. Thank you, and good night.